Thank you very much for watching. My name's Don. Thank you to all my subscribers. I'm very grateful. I want to do a video about Zionists. Why I did this video, why Zionists are not the same as true Jews. A lot of people believe that they're the same as true, Jews, orthodox Jews, who are God-abiding and read the Torah. And why is it important to make sure you know the difference? And also it's important because they have a hand in end-time prophecy. You see, that's why I want to talk about it. First of all, I want to say that the true Jews came from the line of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob. And it says here, they're the ones who were promised the promised land. In Genesis chapter 15, 18 to 21, it says, "On that day Yahweh concluded with Abraham a covenant, saying to your seed, I will give this land," that's the promised land, "from the river of Egypt," so that's the river Nile, "to the great river Euphrates." So that's how big the promised land was, from river Nile and to the river Euphrates. And it was through his son Isaac and Jacob that the 12 tribes come from. This is their land. Fortunately, I will probably do another part. That the Zionists, it was the Zionists that created the new state of Israel in 1948, May the 14th. And these are the Zionists that are in control of the government. And it's not, as I said, they're not true Jews. We read where they came from. Right. It says here, Zionism is not a religion. It doesn't have beliefs. It is a movement. It has goals. The Zionist movement was founded by Theodor Herzl, Herzl, in 1897 to promote the idea of solving the Jewish problem by providing the Jews with a Jewish state, preferably where the Jews had come from originally until being exiled by the Romans. But these, as I said, I will go on a bit more, but they are not the same as true Bible-reading ultra-Orthodox or Orthodox Jews who believe in the Torah and God. It says, while returning to Zion, a lot of Jews, real Jews, in small numbers, listen to this, Zionism was meant to be a secular movement to establish a Jewish autonomous entity. It's not religious. Much of the secular, when they set up the Jewish state in 1948, it says here, much of the secular Jewish world opposed Zionism at the time because they didn't want to be accused of having split allegiances between the country in which they resided and the Jewish homeland. In other words, they are the true Jews, not Zionists. They're a peaceable people. They didn't want to split allegiances. True Jews are happy to live in peace, really, with the Palestinians. Because the Bible does say to take care of the foreign residents, and they're using the word Zion, as an excuse, because Zion refers specifically to the city of Jerusalem. the capital and heart of the ancient land of Israel. But as I said, this is not the case. This is it. And I found out a bit more delving about, Zionism. It says here, unlike Orthodox Jews or ultra-Orthodox Jews who like to read the Torah and believe God's do God's keep God's commandments and keep the peace and not war. Zionism, was originally a religious movement, but now it's become a political movement, very nationalistic. You won't believe it. I found out, they, and they use. It's not about being anti-Semitic, because Zionists are not true Jews, from the Abraham line, and their seed that, are meant to have the, Holy Land, Promised Land. But, Zionists, like what do you call it, Rothschilds, they are not they're not true Jews. As I said, they're more of a political movement, bankers, and they're the ones that set up the state of Israel. Zionist creation, and and the government and it was all the Zionists, and even the military is under the Zionist control. Zionists, it says, are racist. They believe in segregation, apartheid. They believe in war, are brutal, they torture and even kill, as it were. You remember even you can see what soldiers do just by little children throwing stones. What do you call it? Palestinian children just throwing stones or whatever. They believe in, killing, torture, apartheid, like the Gaza Strip, blockading it. And they're racist, they don't believe in war, and they're land grabbers. And they displace people. This is Zionists, and they believe in war. It's completely opposite to, peaceable, loving Jews, which we're all for, because they are, God's people, and it's all about Jerusalem. And as I said, unfortunately, the Zionists, they control the government and all the politics, and all the soldiers are all under this Zionist movement. As I said, it's not about anti-Semitic, because we love the Jews because it's God's people, but the Zionists use the cover of the true Jews to do bad things, like to Palestinians or whatever, or and go into war. And if anyone says anything bad, you're anti-Semitic, but it's not true, because we love the true Jews, ultra-Orthodox Jews, or Jews, proper Jews, from the line of Abraham, not Zionists, or completely opposite from peaceable Jews who would be living in peace. True Jews would be living in peace with the Palestinians. They don't believe in apartheid, land grab, or killing, or going to war, or torture, or anything like that, which is carried out by the Israeli soldiers. And let me see. Also, it says here, I read somewhere that, let me show a video first. this is a proper orthodox Jews at a convention who are anti-Zionists, to prove that Jews and Zionists are completely different people. This is a convention. I want to show a 4-minute video about Rabbi Yaakov Sapora at an anti-Zionist convention in Nassau Colosseum by NY Profiles. These are true Torah Jews, and one of them, Rabbi Yaakov Sapora, is actually explaining what, the difference between Zionists and true Jews, because it's completely different. True Jews are peaceable, but they've been taken over by Zionists.
We're about to begin a historic event. This stadium that you see is not really a stadium. Today, the stadium is a classroom. This is going to be an educational lesson, lectures given by experts in Judaism about Judaism, in particular, the incompatibility between Judaism and Zionism. Many Jews believe, wrongly, that Zionism is either part of Judaism or is compatible with Judaism or is even the main part of Judaism. All of those are actually false. Zionism was created to negate Judaism. Zionism was created to replace Judaism. The differences between Zionism and Judaism are vast. They're vast and profound. The propaganda that the Zionists have churned out for the past 100 years have confused and conflated Zionism and Judaism such that when the average person walks down the street, he thinks that the state of Israel is the Jewish state, he thinks that Zionism is Judaism, and he doesn't know the difference. This group of Jews here are students of the students of the late Satmar Rabbi Reb Yoel Teitelbaum, who was the greatest disseminator of the clarity regarding the difference between Judaism and Zionism. He understood it, he wrote a very big book about it, and he, more than anybody else, was able to communicate that to his students. It is important to review his teachings so that we can understand what our religion is about. According to Zionism, Jewish identity is political. It's national. According to Judaism, Jewish identity is completely religious. A Jew, by definition, is somebody who accepted the Jewish religion or who is defined as a Jew by the Jewish religion. According to Zionism, Jewish identity is political, and it's defined the same way we define the identity of any nationals, as like a Frenchman or a Canadian. According to Judaism, Jewish identity is centered only around God and God's teachings, nothing else. According to Zionism, Jewish identity is centered around a nation state, which they randomly decided is the nation state that was created in 1948 that they call Israel. According to Judaism, a Jew is supposed to have certain character traits. He's supposed to eschew violence. He's supposed to oppose violence. He's supposed to be disgusted by violence. Even in the olden days when Jews had to defend themselves, that was considered nothing to glorify. Jews don't have military heroes. We have religious heroes. Our heroes are the righteous. Our heroes are the scholars. The heroes of the Zionists are the war heroes. The Jews have no national sites where wars took place, such as the Alamo in America. Jews are not militant. Jews are religious. Jews are, the way the Bible describes us, a nation of priests and a holy people. If people want to retain their Jewish identity, if they want to resist the propaganda that is churned out by Zionists and Zionism every day, then it is vital that they take proactive steps to defend themselves against it. Look, the Zionist propaganda is everywhere. We live in a world where every day this message that has been deliberately promulgated by the Zionists is fed to us. Israel, Jewish state, Israel, Jews, Israel, the Jewish people, Israel protects the Jews. It's all bogus.
as the rabbi said, he described it very well, the difference between Zionism and Judaism, ultra-Orthodox Jews. You see, proper Jews, they are peaceable people. They would live in peace with their neighbours, Palestinians. They wouldn't believe in apartheid or segregation like, Palestinians at the moment. They're peaceable and they believe in the Bible, the Torah. And, completely religious and God. But on the other hand, Zionism, unfortunately, the current Jewish state is Zionist. I might do another video about it. And the government and the state is all Zionist, and they control all the military and the IDF, Israeli soldiers. And this Zionist, they believe in war, the political, and as he said, they're negating or destroying Judaism from within. What I mean by that is this current Israeli government, Zionist government, they are recruiting or forcing, I've read somewhere, I will read a bit more, boys and girls that are religious and like to believe in the Torah and God, true Jews, forcing them to join, to become more nationalists and join the military, like compulsory, when they reach, I think, 18 years old, they have to do over 2 years service in the military when they're 18, forcing them to do it, to break, the belief in God. Satan is using Zionism to destroy, unfortunately, Judaism, the true Jews from within. Forcing young, boys, even girls to join the army, They're waging war on the true Jews. They're destroying it from within. The true Orthodox or ultra-Orthodox Jews that believe in the Bible, who are peaceable, loving, who believe in love and peace and no war and no killing. Let me read. Let's see. Here's a demonstration by true Jews, hundreds of thousands of ultra-Orthodox Jews who believe the Bible and are peaceable, who took the streets of Jerusalem to speak out and pray against the impending legislation, that is, to force them to join the army when they reach 18. That means, become more nationalists, break God's law about love, and kill in the army. There's a lot of people, a lot of Jews demonstrating there. But unfortunately, this is it. We're, what's it called? We are united against military service. This is what one ultra-Orthodox Jew said. We are united against military service for religious men in Israel. These are true Jews, ultra-Orthodox Jews, not Zionists, because it doesn't allow for religious learning, said Peggy, Sister Peggy, an interior designer from Brooklyn, but also she's Jewish. The Israeli government is looking to destroy religious society and make the country into a secular melting pot. Another one said, Sheikh's law just passed. In other words, this is here. Since 1948, the year of Israel's founding, adherents to Haredi Judaism, or they call it Haredi Judaism, or Orthodox Jews now, who reject many aspects of modern secular culture, including viewing films and violent films and televisions, were exempted since 1948 exempt from compulsory military service to pursue their stringent religious studies. Increasingly, however, many secular Israelis said the exemption for a relatively large number of Jews was unfair. So what do? They passed the law forcing these poor young boys, and the draft law was regarded by several Israelis as rectifying a perceived historic injustice of exemption given to the ultra-Orthodox community in 1948, when Israel was established by as a nation. However, they were at that point only a small proportion of the population. But now they're saying, since 1948, they've grown in number, the ultra-Orthodox community, and they believe it's historic injustice if they didn't allow them or force them into compulsory service. So unfortunately, they're forcing them now, to join the army. This is Sheikh's law just passed. Now, oh no, that was before, I think back in 1914. Now we will roll up our sleeves and connect our Haredi brothers to the Israeli economy. This is it. However, a high birth rate has since expanded their ride in society, making them the fastest growing group in the country. So they're using the excuse that they're, the fastest growing group, Haredi or ultra-Orthodox Jews. So therefore, they need to go and join the army. This is a historic, important bill. This elect sheikhs, Haredi, a person said, I think in politics, who has led the parliamentary committee to prepare the legislation. This elect Sheikh, that's quite bad. He prepared the legislation declared, as quoted by the Jerusalem Pope, for 45 years there was an exemption for all yeshiva students, and the change the coalition made is a proportionate and gradual and correct. So he's happy that they're forcing the young boys and girls to join the army when they're really supposed to be, God-loving and Torah-believing Jews. So you see, Zionism is not true Jews. They're destroying Judaism from within. And, at the end, Zionists, they will be, bringing Israel and the world into a conflict, a worldwide conflict. I think Israeli News Live said they're going to provoke, the Zionist government will provoke Iran to attack Israel, which will, become a worldwide conflict, because Israel will take sides, its allies will take sides with Israel, and Iran will have its allies too. So also Zionists will bring about the antichrist, the third temple, in which they will rule the world from there. So yeah, the Zionists are ruling the world, bankers and everything, media, everything, politics, the Rothschilds, they're the ones that will bring about end-time prophecy. And the Jews, unfortunately, will suffer. But we pray for the true Jews, but also we not only pray for the true Jews, but also we pray that they turn to Christ, because unfortunately a lot of Orthodox Jews, they might believe in the Torah and the Bible, but they only believe in the Old Testament, not the New Testament. They rejected the Messiah the first time. You know, we pray for. I'm glad some believe in the Messiah, Messianic Jews, but I believe that God will use the Zionists to bring about the end and judgment on Israel and the world. For those ones who don't accept Christ, let me read Matthew 23:39, which says, I say to you, this Christ was talking about Jerusalem. I've used it before, but I'll use it again. You will by no means see me henceforth, Christ says, until you say, blessed is he that comes in the name of the Lord. Only when they accept the Lord, he will come back to save them. Because they've rejected him the first time, they will accept a false Messiah, the Zionist government, unfortunately. And let us remember, we pray for the Jews, to have peace and that they accept Christ, and I'll finish off, John 14:6. Christ said, John 14:6, which says, Jesus said to him, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So it says it quite clearly. Christ is the way, the truth and the life to salvation. We pray for you and for all those in Israel that they come to know Christ and gain salvation, because he's the way, the truth and the life. Anyway, hope that you learned something from this video. God bless.